The first news, baby illusion, youngest born perceived as shorter. Mothers perceive their youngest children as shorter than they actually are, a study suggests. This baby illusion applies regardless of the number of children a mother has, current biology reports. Mothers underestimated the height of their youngest child by an average of 7.5 cm, yet accurately judged the height of any older children they had. The study authors believe this is an adaptive mechanism to nurture and protect most vulnerable offspring. Always the baby. The Australian researchers surveyed 747 mothers, asking them if they remembered experiencing a sudden shift in their youngest son or daughter's size immediately after the birth of a new baby. More than two-thirds said they did. This perceptual shift primarily relates to the former baby of the family. Mothers were less likely to report any height difference in other siblings. This is not just because the older child looks so big compared with the baby, the researchers say. It actually happens because all along the parents were under an illusion their child was smaller than he or she really was. When the new baby is born, the spell is broken and parents now see their older child as he or she really is, they say. The researchers asked 70 mothers to estimate, by putting a mark on a wall, the height of each of their children. The mothers consistently underestimated the height of their only or youngest children, aged 2 to 6. Yet many were good at estimating the height of their older children and everyday objects, such as the bathroom sink or kitchen counter. Lead researcher Jordi Kaufman of Swinburne University of Technology said, "Our research potentially explains why the baby of the family never outgrows that level. To the parents, the baby of the family may always be the baby." The second news, do you want to help build a happier city? Does your neighborhood make you happy or sad? Researchers are realizing that how we feel about our local surroundings is vital to a city's success. How do you measure how happy a city is? Just last week, a new app launched that boasted to be able to collect all sorts of information about a city, including how happy it is, based on how many of its residents are smiling in photographs. Already, it's found that St. Louis, Missouri, is the happiest city on its database. Take that, Anaheim, California, 5th out of 50. As we know, the share of the world's population living in cities has surpassed 50%. By 2025, we will see another 1.2 billion city residents. With more and more of us moving to urban centers, quality of life becomes ever more important. But only recently have notions of human happiness encroached into the worlds of architecture and urban planning. To allocate resources like energy supply, water reserves, and clean air more efficiently. Cities around the world are already heavily investing into new monitoring technologies that will make them smarter. In doing so, They expect to reduce costs and create sustainable environments. In his book, Smart Cities, Anthony Townsend suggested that future cities solely engineered for efficiency might not be good places to live in. Livable cities are those that make their dwellers happy, concluded Happy City, an author Charles Montgomery. The pursuit of happiness may be an unalienable right, but are the technologies we are designing really helping its users to be happy? Take the simple example of a web map. It usually gives us the shortest walking direction to destination. But what if it would give us the small street, full of trees, parallel to the shortest path, which could make us happier? As more and more of us share these city streets, we will keep as happy as they become more crowded. Some of the answers may not lie in architecture schools, but in our local coffee shops. Christine Outram is a graduate of the Mid School of Architecture plus Planning, and the founder of City Innovation Group, a global network of civic technologists. Last month, she wrote a provocative article titled, "What Starbucks Gets That Architects Don't," or "Why I Left the Architecture Profession." She wrote, "Dear architects, you're outdated. I know this because I once was one of you, but now I've moved on. I moved on because despite your love of a great curve and your experimentation with form, you don't understand people. I correct myself, you don't listen to people. By contrast, Starbucks engage in intensive ethnographic work when deciding how to design their spaces. Interviewing hundreds of coffee drinkers, they determine what people consider to be a place of relaxation. As opposed to asking the question, why do we want them to do? They are interested in asking how do we want people to feel, from follows feeling. It would be useful for architects to know what makes people happy, to know what people consider to be a beautiful city, and to integrate that knowledge into the urban planning process. In recent years, the new mayor of the Colombian capital Bogota, Enrique Peñalosa, has cancelled highways projects and poured the money instead into cycle lanes, parks, and open spaces for locals. Undoing decades of car-centric planning that had made the streets a no-go area for the capital's children. On the day in February 2000 when Peñalosa banned cars from the street for 24 hours, hospital admissions fell by a third, air pollution levels dropped, and residents said it made them feel more optimistic about living in the city. Mental maps, but other concepts of happiness and even beauty are often fuzzy. With colleagues at the University of Cambridge, I worked on web game code on banks.org. In it, you are shown 10 pairs of urban scenes of London, and for each pair, you need to choose which one you consider to be more beautiful, quiet, and happy. Based on user votes, one is able to rank all urban scenes by beauty, quiet, and happiness. Those scenes have been studied at Yahoo Labs. Image processing tools that extract color histograms. The amount of greenery is associated with all three peaceful qualities. Green is often found in scenes considered to be beautiful, quiet, and happy. We then ran more sophisticated image analysis tools that extracted patches from our urban scenes and found that red brick houses and public gardens also make people happy. On the other hand, cars were the visual elements more strongly associated with sadness. In rich countries, car ownership is becoming unfashionable, and car sharing and short-term hiring is becoming more popular. Self-driving cars such as those being prototyped by Google will be more common and will be likely to be ordered via the kind of mobile apps similar to the ones we use for ordering taxis nowadays. This will result into optimized traffic flows, fewer cars, and more space for alternative modes of transportation and for people on foot. Cities will experience transformations similar to those New York has experienced since 2007. During these few years, new pedestrian plazas and hundreds of miles of bike lanes were created in the 5 boroughs, creating spaces for public art installations and recreation, and it's proved popular with local business too, boosting the local economy in areas where cyclists are freer to travel. However, it is not clear whether the rise of post-war tour dwelling is a definite improvement on the modern city sprawl. Tall buildings, with the exception of glassed office buildings and landmarks, are often found in sad scenes. Urban elements that hinder social interactions are undesirable. Therefore, by using elements that ease interactions, that foster what sociologists call social capital, artists are more likely to recreate the spaces we intuitively love. The layout of the urban space plugs directly into our scene of community. Sociologist Kevin Lunch showed that everyone living in an urban environment creates their own personal mental map of the city, based on features such as routes they use and the areas they visit. In 1972, the eminent sociologist Stanley Milgram showed that New Yorkers were able to recognize an area of the city partly because they were exposed to it. Digital records of London Underground trips further suggest that the more socially deprived an area, the fewer passengers visit it. The good news is that by analyzing the flow of underground passengers, local authorities could potentially track social deprivation in real time. Making cities walkable is the simplest and most cost-efficient way to increase exposure to its areas, says Walkable City author Jeff Speck. Here tech can help too. Google Maps' addition of walking, biking, and transport options to its directions has been the greatest game changer for increasing walking, wrote Alyssa Walker in a recent BBC Future article. Yet such a map returns the shortest path to destination. Is that necessarily the one that will make you happiest? Yahoo Labs has referenced pictures from unbanjames.org and are building new algorithms that find short routes that connect happy points together. These algorithms currently work only for London, To extend them to other cities, models are being built that predict crowdsourced using ratings from tags of Flickr pictures containing positive and negative emotion words. This means that in any city in which Flickr is widely used, emotional ratings can be predicted without the need of any crowdsourcing site. The plan is to extend this week to Boston, New York, San Francisco, Berlin, Barcelona, Sao Paulo, and Rio de Janeiro. The goal is to change the ways these cities' dwellers experience the built environment even as they walk through it. Without being smart, future cities cannot be sustainable, but without retrofitting them for happiness, they are bound to become centuries of decay. There is still time to prioritize people over cars and over dense urban living amidst a rich social landscape. We may think building happiness is a fuzzy notion, but the information we're already gathering shows it might be much easier to create than we think. If you would like to comment on this article or anything else you have seen on Future, head over to our Facebook or Google Plus page, or message us on Twitter. The third news: Target won't sell Beyoncé's new album. While Beyoncé's new fast-selling self-titled album is sure to be on many Christmas wish lists, there's at least one major retailer that's opting not to sell the album: Target. At Target, we focus on offering our guests a wide assortment of physical CDs, and when a new album is available digitally before it is available physically, it impacts demand and sales projections. Target spokesperson Erica Jokowski tells Billboard. Related articles: Photos: Beyoncé live in Chicago. How Beyoncé stayed a secret. Album shooters iTunes record. Beyoncé album review. 8 other unexpected album releases. Beyoncé album hottest moments from the 17 videos. She continues, while there are many aspects that contribute to our approach and we have appreciated partnering with Beyoncé in the past, we are primarily focused on offering CDs that will be available in a physical format at the same time as all other formats. At this time, Target will not be carrying Beyoncé's new self-titled album, Beyoncé. Columbia Records released Beyoncé at 12 a.m. EST on the morning of Friday, December 13, exclusively via iTunes without any pre-release announcement. They are the exclusive seller of the album through at least December 18, when some brick-and-mortar retailers in the U.S. could begin to receive copies of the album. Most physical retailers will receive it by Friday, December 20. It is understood that the album will not have any additional bonus or exclusive content for any retailer. Beyoncé has previously worked with Target to give the retailer exclusive additions for her albums. Her last studio release, 2011's 4, had a version exclusive to Target that came with 6 additional tracks. She also starred in a TV commercial for the retailer, where the singer can be heard saying, "I put so much into my new album, and only Target gives you all of it." Billboard estimates that iTunes is the largest seller of music in the U.S., with about a 41% share of the market in 2012. Walmart had 10%, while Amazon 9% and Target 5% were the third and fourth largest sellers, respectively. However, another major retailer, Walmart, will be carrying Beyoncé, and it should be in their stores by the end of the week. Walmart is happy to be able to carry her album and support all physical music, said Walmart spokesperson Sarah McKinney. As per Walmart's long-standing policy, they will only carry the non-explicit version of Beyoncé. Beyoncé set sales records in the iTunes Store after only 3 days on sale. According to iTunes and Columbia Records, Beyoncé's record label, the album sold 670,000 copies in the U.S. and 878,773,000 total worldwide through Sunday night, December 15. That marks both the largest single week ever in both the U.S. iTunes Store and the fastest-selling album worldwide in the iTunes Store. The fourth news: Silent Journey. Have you ever wondered why some days everything is turned perfectly for you, while others not so much? Have you ever felt completely in tune with life? Even the most beautifully sounding musical instrument can fall out of tune once in a while. The same is true for our minds. Whether we struggle to focus, battle with stress, or get tangled up in too many thoughts, sometimes, for whatever reason, we simply fell out of tune. On one hand, your mind is a finely tuned, delicate and complex instrument, while on the other hand, it doesn't come with an owner's manual. Silent Journey is that owner's manual. Our tuning exercises, revolutionary audio tracks, and insightful techniques help finely tune your mind and body so that you can operate like a fine-tuned instrument. Silent Journey is your complete tuning fork set that can help you exceed your expectations and play to your grand potential. What is Silent Journey? Silent Journey is your one-stop destination for all that life brings your way. It's no secret that meditation is a wonderful drug-free way to slow down your thoughts and clear your mind. But what about all those moments when you aren't meditating? After all, isn't that when we need to have focus, relaxation, and inner peace the most? Silent Journey provides you with the roadmap to tune your mind from within. It's already there. It's within you. We simply help you harness it. And here's how. Silent Journey is one of the best I have done. I have been in a very stressful situation for the past several years. I've tried every meditation out there. Honest, you name it. I've tried it. Some have helped, some have not. Some have been easy, some more difficult. I've to say that this one by Silent Journey is one of the best I have done. It is so easy and I felt immediate relief from the stress and anxiety I have been feeling. The past couple of weeks have been some of the more stressful times, and I really needed this. Thank you, Sandy K. You might be wondering, what happens to your brain when you enter a Zen-like meditative state? So, why did some, even with the benefits illustrated above, still choose not to meditate? Well, we have found that most don't because they find it too difficult to meditate, or that they just don't have enough time in the day. The trick is though that it's quite simple and easy, and can be fast to do. In 2003, Time magazine devoted an entire issue to meditation, citing its increasing in popularity and scientific studies that have indicated its positive impact on both mental and physical health. Even CBS on August 27th in 2003 recognized that more and more doctors recommend it. It being meditation. Further into the report, it shows that meditation can help suppress depression, manage pain, increase longevity, invigorate the immune system, and even lower blood pressure. Just recently, the NY Times ran an article on their website about the power of concentration and how meditation has helped. Silent Journey has developed our introductory collection with positive affirmations and binaural beats, with both of these embedded into our audio tracks, making meditation faster and easier. 5 reasons to meditate. You've probably heard that exercise is good for your body and that the right foods help prolong your health. Well, the same is true for your mind. Meditation helps keep your mind healthy by clearing mind chatter that builds up throughout the day. And when you clear your mind of all that mental clutter, you're able to find inner peace, gain clearer direction, and live life with less stress. In fact, meditation has been scientifically proven to help overcome anxiety, depression, anger, and confusion. Psychosomatic Medicine, 2009. Cultivate healthy habits that lead to weight loss. Journal Emotion, 2007. Boost your creativity. Science Daily, 2010. Increase your focus and attention. University of Wisconsin Medicine, 2010. Overcome stress. University of Massachusetts Medical School, 2003. Binaural beats. We've said earlier that it doesn't take long to meditate, and that we're different than everyone else. We truly mean that. Aside from infusing our tracks with positive affirmations, we also incorporated binaural beats into our tracks. Binaural beats, or tones, are sound waves that can influence your brainwaves in more subtle ways and have been known to reduce anxiety. To find out more on binaural beats, you can visit some of the studies we've found. The first is a study on the use of binaural beats for anxiety treatment, and the second is a study based on the effects of binaural beats on humans. And for a more in-depth look at how binaural beats work, we've included a link to webus.com, which has an amazing write and description of binaural beats. The fifth news: prayers support poor in for wounded Colorado student. In their first public comments, the shooter's parents say they are shattered, devastated. Support and concern for a 17-year-old girl critically wounded by a fellow student at the suburban Denver High School poured in Monday, both online and outside the school. People offered prayers and left notes of support for Clary Davis, and fans at Arapahoe High School, where white cops spelled out "Pray for Claire," a notebook and a Christmas stocking filled with pens hung from the fence, while others left stuffed animal horses because of her love of riding. School graduate Parker Simon, 21, said he knelt in front of the fence to pray for a speedy recovery. On Twitter, people offered prayers in several languages for Davis, who is in a coma at a hospital a couple of miles away from the school. Hundreds of students and other supporters turned out at the school's track on Sunday to pray and show support for Davis, described as fun, Bobby, and caring. "She's someone we need back, and we're hoping she gets better because Arapahoe won't be the same without her," Lindsay Lodeman Copeland said. Maggie Herbert recalled how she was upset in the hallway at school once at Davis, whom she didn't know very well, stopped to ask her how she was doing and offer help. "She just wants to take care of others," she said. Authorities believe she was shot at random by fellow senior Carl Pearson soon after he entered the school Friday armed with a shotgun, looking for a faculty member with whom he had a dispute. Davis was sitting with a friend near the school library when Pearson shot her in the head point blank. In the first comments since the shooting, Pearson's parents said that they were shattered and devastated by the shooting and offered their thoughts and prayers for Davis, her family, and the entire school community. "As parents, we loved our son Carl dearly, and we are devastated by what happened Friday. We cannot begin to understand why Carl did what he said," Barbara and Mark Pearson said in a statement. Pearson may have been nursing a grudge against the school librarian who coached the speech and debate team since September. Pearson excelled at speech and debate and was passionate about the team, friends, and they described him as a smart student who sometimes would get into debates with his teachers. Pearson had been disciplined by the librarian for reasons yet to be disclosed. According to Arapahoe County Sheriff Preston Robinson, he has said Pearson threatened that teacher in September and came to the school Friday intending to harm him and inflict numerous other casualties. The coroner confirmed Monday that Pearson committed suicide by shooting himself in the head. Robinson said Pearson killed himself 80 seconds after entering the school because he knew a deputy assigned to the school was closing in. The investigation into the shooting continues, but authorities have finished their examination of the school building. Students will be allowed back later in the week to get their belongings, but with the holiday break scheduled for next week, they don't be returning to class until January.